It's All Related Podcast fam. Sonia here. This week, we are doing a rerun of one of our favorite episodes from the archives. Can't wait to see you next week. Hope you enjoy this rerun of one of our favorite apps. Sending all my love. Bye.
Welcome back to another exciting episode of It's All Related. I'm Sonia Choquette here with Sonia Tully. We are talking here all things intuitive, living an intuitive life in a third dimension world where that's not quite the way things go. I'm talking to Sonia here today in New Orleans. Hi, Son.
Hi, Mom. Oh, my goodness. I can't believe it. This week is Christmas. Can you believe it?
Today in London, I'm in London right now, and we're so far north that it gets dark really, really early. You know, it starts getting dark by 2 o'clock. And so I had injured my knee. And so went to get an ultrasound on it, and it was at 2 o'clock. So by the time I came out, it was 3 o'clock, but it might as well have been 8 o'clock.
No.
But the good news was that it was right off of Oxford Street, and all the lights were so beautiful, so bright, so colorful that I was really happy to be there. I was just, really happy to enjoy that. Actually, I saw them come on. And that burst of light, I took it as just a wonderful sign. And today's 12/12, at least when we're
recording this. Yeah. You turn on the big burst of light.
Everything burst into light. And I just took it as a real sign that even, the truth is this time of year and the sun is so far down and it is so dark that we have to look for the light. We have
Absolutely.
to, and that to me was a symbol. And that's one of the ways you live an intuitive life is you take what's happening and you give it an uplifting, positive spin. You look at life and you see it as all things can lead to your spirit being nurtured. And so instead of, God, it's, barely after lunch and it's dark, I thought, wow, lights are just bursting all around me. It's so beautiful, so joyful. And I thought, this is the way to interpret this moment, that it just turns on right then and there. And it was really, it just lifted my spirit. And after having come out from this, having my knee checked out and it wasn't so lifted, it completely changed the vibe. It completely changed the vibe, and my knee even felt better. I thought immediately they're connected.
Yeah.
That somehow what I'm carrying and how I'm feeling and wanting more light, just generally. And then I thought, well, look for it. Don't just expect it to show up, but it is my job now to look for it.
Well, when you're just saying all that, and especially, we're marching, we're recording this the week before Christmas because I'm having to travel. And as we all know, busy holiday season. And we're marching towards the winter solstice, which is the darkest time of the year. Mm-hmm. And, and I often think about the road that you take, less traveled, as a conscious spiritual person. That light is your spirit that is within, that will always turn on and that will guide you in moments of where it's darkness for your head. There's always a light. There's always a light, and it's your light. And so whether you're in even seasonally, if it's like, I can really see where I'm going and I'm in flow and all these things, versus even if things are dark, I have my own little lantern that will guide me.
Right. And the truth is only in this part of the world is it dark.
Right.
In Australia, everybody's out swimming. So I thought, well, that's also, because I was thinking about that when I got on the train to come back. I was thinking, well, it just depends on, just don't assume that what your immediate experience is universal or absolute. This is a dark moment. This is a dark period that I will work to focus on the light. But in other parts of the world, they were having the best time. They're basking in the sunlight. So nothing is absolute was my takeaway. And these are sort of basic attitudes that I think if you're living a life where you're following your inner guidance and you're seeing how all things are connected, the way you see the outer world and the way you think does have to change.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And what I'm thinking of, so yesterday, I had to run around. I have some different errands. I'm leaving Monday. We're recording this on Friday. And I have a bunch of different things I have to do. I'm packing for our trip. I'm wrapping up my business year. We have a full schedule. I have all these different things to mail, things to return, just the things of wrapping up. So I first I had to return something at Walmart. Line, two people in front of me in line. That's fine. I had like 40 minutes before my next thing. And of course, everybody was so slow. It was so slow. And I'm feeling myself getting more and more and more impatient. All right. And I of course, I'm kind of the person. This was the other day. Again, yesterday, I go to mail things, and there's a person who got right in front of me in line. I already had everything. The labels on. They just needed to scan them and put them in the bin to pick up for UPS. Again, we are with people who are glacially slow. And I'm feeling more and more agitated and more impatient. And I had to just check my energy of, I'm in a rush. Everybody else here is also busy. So I need to slow down my own energy, because the more that I was trying to go fast, the more that I was just trying to even just be in my own world and lane of like, this is what I need to do. Yeah. I was like, I can just see that this is something as a mirror for me, an energetic mirror of I need to slow down. I need to get centered, and how the world responds to that. So even today, I'm like, instead of being rushed because I feel like I have so much to do, I'm going to be slow like a turtle and see how that creates a change in the system. And I feel like intuitive living, it's like things that sometimes even just are really bothering me. It's the question of having to check the energy fields. Is this my energy? Is this my frequency that I'm carrying? Is this my own stuff? Is this is this the world around me? And then even more importantly, of having the conscious awareness of, how do I react? How do I react?
Well, I think that's probably one of the best questions we can wind up this year with is intuition, is being able to read the energy accurately. And then you can consciously choose what you're going to do with your read. First of all, if you're reading it inaccurately, you're going to have a choice. It's going to just cause more resistance and drama.
Yeah.
But if you react, we talked about this before, and I'm really challenged right now. Lots of things are really challenging me right now. So when I get challenged, it's not triggered, but challenged. And I think when you get challenged, my clients have shared this with me, that when they get challenged, and I was feeling it today, one of my first go-tos is to doubt myself, is to assume. My first is always to assume something in me is off. Now, like you said, and quite often it very much is.
I mean, it depends. Yeah. It's like, let's just check the tapes.
But
For
I've
me, it's
been
even
having
basic.
a series of consistent challenges, people that I've made agreements with, or people that I've had relationships with, and we've made plans with, all of a sudden bailing, and then being annoyed that I'm saying, well, okay, but doesn't mean I want to make all kinds of accommodations for that, because these are just arbitrary. Oh, I'll blow you off for something more important. And I thought, okay, 1 time, 2 times, but I've had it like 5 or 6 times. When something that frequent happens to me, the same, but different, I then learn to interpret that as a test. And so what's the test? What's the challenge? Do I just keep rolling with it and just accommodate everybody? Or do I buckle down and say, I don't want to accommodate anybody? So it's really about boundaries and about intentions and about what I know. That for me, one of my big challenges is that I really take my commitment seriously. I was trained by my teachers too. I was trained that's personal power, that a yes is a yes. It's not yes until something else comes along. So I realized that I had several yeses till something else comes along. And my first instinct was to go to, well, I'm going to teach you a lesson.
Yeah.
And then I thought it through and I thought, I'm not going to do anything but say, well, this is my yes, and do whatever you want, but I'm not changing.
Yeah.
I'm keeping my commitments but it hasn't been comfortable. So sometimes when you're trusting your vibes, there's a feeling or there's a promise, and we certainly tell you can expect it, that things will go well or go easily, but sometimes they will just they will require a bit more, settling into what your truth is or what feels energetically right for you. And it's not always comfortable when you run up against situations and people who would really rather not honor the energy that you've created. So I think that it's important to say you'll be tested, you'll be challenged, and it's easier to just go people pleaser or whatever, or self-abandonment, or to keep the energy kind of copacetic, or just basically stand in the fire and say, no, this doesn't work for me. Do what you need to do, but this is what works for me. And so I think we need to talk about that a bit.
Yeah. Well, what I'm just, in hearing this, what I'm also just recognizing for myself is that when you get, and sometimes it's the same, but like you're saying, the same thing. Often I find when there's something repeats over and over and over again, the question is, as you're saying, for me, I'm like, what do I need to learn? As we evolve, even in our consciousness, it's a spiral. You're constantly spiraling up, but you kind of return to almost like the same point at a different frequency. But it's like the universe being like, okay, are you really done with this? Are you done with this pattern? Are you done with this lesson? And it's again, not punitive. It's just, we've put it into practice. We've learned our things. We put it into practice. And now you get a new challenge to test your tools.
And we can call it an invitation.
An
invitation to sharpen those tools.
And, just as you're like, so the other week, this reminds me of a story of myself. For the other week, I was, it's Thanksgiving, actually. And I went with my partner, Lane, and my bestie, Nahaya, and we had a really lovely time. We had dinner. And then we went and had, dropped off Nahaya and hung out to hang out for a minute before going to bed. And I was talking it was me, my Lane and Nahaya, we were chit-chatting. And Lane, I don't even remember exactly what the topic was, but I felt myself triggered. I felt myself really triggered. And first I could feel it in my body because it was like my heartbeat started to raise, my shoulders started to raise, and all these different things. And so actually said to both of them, I was like, my brain is tired right now. And I'm feeling a lot of things. I'm feeling that this is just, I don't have the capacity to engage in this conversation. I'm not mad. I'm not upset. I'm going to go to the bathroom. I'm going to reset. And I would love for us to change topic. And I went to the bathroom and I thought, okay, just checking the energy field of just what's my stuff. And then I was like, what's at the heart of what's really bothering me? What are we really talking about? What am I really talking about? Instead of these big sweeping, whatever, or others, exactly. Or it's like you need to think differently, or you need to be, I'm like, oh, you know why I'm not feeling heard. And that's something that's really important to me. If I'm not feeling listened to, this is an important place of where my intuition, my spirit is telling me of how I need to be honored in my relationships. And the emotional reaction comes from a pain point. But to have the place of being able, it's like, I think it's almost like layers of a parfait of the first layer is my head. You need to, and this, and I can't, whatever. All right. Okay. First there's that layer. Then I go one deeper. Then there's the emotion. That's like the waters. It's like, this is telling me it's important. It's got the juice. And then the deeper layer is like, what is so? What is so? And also what's in my own control. What's my thing? And how can I even vocalize that to the people that I care about? And then how do I hold that frequency within myself as a way that in my relationships, that this is something that matters? And that's what that like reminded me of like, the first thing is bumper cars. Yeah.
Well, what I'm thinking as I'm listening to you and reflecting is that one of my core triggers, and I've worked with it a lot, is not being respected. Because when you're 50 years out in the field saying I'm psychic, and although for 48 of them, people have called you a nutcase, not respected, treated with no respect, dismissed,
whipped cream and lollipops, as one person said.
I've been called whipped cream and lollipops. I've been called she-demon. And for the most part, I've traveled through that, laughed it off. I'm not sensitive, but when it gets to closer agreements, when it's general, people don't know
whatever.
Me, like water, what do they say, water off the duck's back.
Yeah.
But when it's people that I've been in closer connection with, and I expect that respect, and I feel that I've exercised that respect.
You've given it.
I've given it, and I've assumed it's going to be returned, and it's not. Whoa. And so what I was watching a YouTube the other day, just a brief YouTube with Gabor Mate.
Oh, yeah.
I love
who
does
work.
a lot of triggering and inner child stuff. And he said, if you have a trigger that's deep, it's not about the other person. It's about something unhealed in you.
Yeah.
And I thought, okay, that's the first thing that came to mind when you're talking, is that expecting it's unnegotiated agreements. It's like, I expect the mutual respect, but have I ever actually said so? I've assumed so. So maybe as I move into the new year, where appropriate, I will have to make sure that those agreements are mutually agreed upon. Maybe someone doesn't want to be mutually respectful, or maybe doesn't understand what that means, or what means in our dynamic. And I need to move out of that assumption. I need to heal that in me, instead of think, how dare you, we made an agreement and now you're changing. It can be so minor. So I think this is good information. And I do think for empaths and intuitives, one of our biggest blind spot is because we're so perceptive of the field.
Conscious.
We can slip into assumption. Like if something's so obvious to me, it's obvious to everybody. So you are obviously, disrespecting me in this case I'm referring to, or not keeping your agreement, or not listening to me. There's an assumption tendency that I think, okay, I'm going to make this a big point, because it is probably one of the, there's always going to be something, but it is one more something I want to work on.
Yeah.
Even more. I've worked on it a lot, but even more.
Well, when saying that, I'm really, as an intuitive empath, as somebody who cares, I'm a person who cares a lot. I care a lot. I do. And it's part of my superpower in of my energy, of my spirit. And also sometimes in that caring, I have to remember things aren't personal. And just as being an intuitive empath, I find that, a lot of times we're a lot more conscious of, especially if you're a conscious person and in like really unconscious circumstances, it's kind of like, I'm like, and it's also like, duh. It's like how I see and navigate in the world. I will extend that to others because it's so out of my framework that you would feel and act like that. Or, it's like, that's just, and I'm like, it's also not personal. It's not personal. And that's non-personal awareness. It's not personal.
I definitely think that when you're an intuitive and sensitive or empathic person and you're tired, all that discernment gets mushed down into a big foggy field of yuck, because you're feeling something and you feel it energetically, it's really challenging to not take it personally,
Oh my
because you are
gosh.
having a personal experience of the energy.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
So
Yeah.
this is, psychic sit-ups champion level.
Oh, for
You
sure.
have to really exercise and want to exercise a level of objectivity and discernment to bring the drama down for yourself.
Yeah.
Hello, my sweet friends. It's Sonia Tully. And here's one thing I know for sure. Your head and your heart are meant to be the best of friends. And when you live life inside out, your head and heart are one. Being an intuitive, connected soul is all about remembering who you are and uncovering your gems. It is my mission to help you trust your intuition so that you plug back in and reconnect to your authentic self. Check out my soul readings. We'll look deeply at your soul lessons and find your purpose. We'll answer your big burning questions like, what is holding me back in life? Or what's the right job for me? We'll look at what's going on for you right now and give you grounded steps to bring your life into alignment with your true self. There is nothing more that I love than helping people live spontaneously and awaken their inner guide. I can't wait to help you come home. Visit my website, soniatully.com, to learn about the ways I can work with you so that you'll dance through life with clarity and confidence.
One, like we talked, our spirit is directly connected to our body. You have to take care of home, number one, your physical body, to accurately read the energy. And I mean, have I slept enough? Have I gotten enough water? Have I moved my energy? Those are my first three checkpoints.
Am I in blood sugar meltdown?
Exactly. Have I eaten enough?
Have I had too much coffee? Am I with too much noise?
Yeah. Is it am I overstimulated? Because that are like my grounded buffers and my grounded filters. Like with the story that I was sharing earlier or with Nahaya and Lane. And actually, the funny thing is, I think this was actually the topic of our conversation. Lane was saying nothing is personal, and I was trying to share, and I wasn't feeling heard. And then I got real triggered, and that's so funny. You just reminded me of exactly the topic. This is literally what we were talking about, but of just having those first things. So that for me has been a exercise that I use, just like in that situation. I was like, I am tired. My brain is tired. What you have to say is important and I care. And right now I cannot have this conversation because I can't interact in a way that is loving to me or our relationships, and my own energy field being low. When I'm overstimulated, when I'm over maxed, when it's that energy becomes like a lightning bolt in my nervous system.
I really think the reason we're talking about this is because all of this really, the potential for all this misunderstanding really amplifies during the holidays.
Oh my gosh. 100%. I mean, even just the other day, when I was just standing in line with Christmas music, there's an inner child part that loves it. And also, there's been a lot of hard times during the holidays. So sometimes I have two different energy fields for me. And
colliding.
Yeah. And I always see it as a window of, if I'm in this place, this is where my spirit needs to extend compassion to my human parts. If I'm really, and it's like, whether that's saying, hey, I need to take a pause on this conversation, whether it's even a pause of acknowledgement, even for myself, when I went to the bathroom and was like, okay, what's this trigger? And I'm like, I'm not feeling heard. Sometimes I'll actually just talk to my human parts and say, like, that's really hard. I'll even put my hand on my heart, on my belly, and I will talk to myself out loud. I was literally in the bathroom, just acknowledging and reassuring, witnessing my human experience from the perspective of my spirit. That gives me grace, because sometimes if I'm in situations, like let's say with let's say even in this example of not feeling heard, instead of I can voice that, I can't change anything. And like that I can witness my own experience instead of trying to force someone else to try, because sometimes it's like squeezing, it's trying to get, what is it, juice out of a stone?
Yeah.
I'm like, it's a waste of energy. If
they're not there. Well, I got that even when I was seeing all the Christmas lights pop up and thinking, okay, be light. And then I had been irritated with all these people challenging me and trying to rewrite our agreements. I thought the reason this is causing me more than usual challenges because my knee really hurts.
Yeah.
And I'm not physically feeling
100.
And it's not gone away with all the things I've tried. So now I'm not even feeling like, oh, it's temporary, blow it off. It's like, I need to take care of myself.
Yeah.
So I think anything at this point challenging my field is challenging my right and my need to take care of myself. So it kind of got all mushed up.
Yeah.
And I think what you're saying is really helpful. Just pause, retreat, let the different parts of you voice. And then just don't expect anyone else to have any epiphany or a shift of a consciousness or interest, but you can calm down. With the lights, I calm down. And I think the other thing is I had planned to walk home. And it's my big love of my life, the walk. And after I left the ultrasound, I was advised to not walk home. And that also took on a larger, perhaps, than it needed to be, meaning for me of like, I'll never walk home again.
Yeah, right. Our emotional part, right? It's like our head goes that, and then our emotions, and then it's like goes into black or white. Like, I'll never walk again. I'll never. And it's like, hold on, let's just. It gets into the drama. I'm like, I'm stuck in this forever. This is terrible.
And then here's my willful side. Screw him. I'm going to run home. I mean, I'm going to be mind over matter. My Aries moon. I am going to.
You don't know home. Me. Yeah.
Yeah. And so I got in a taxi and I thought, okay, I need to go, and rather than have any more irritations or overreactions or drawn conclusions, I'm just going to go meditate. And actually I did, again, it's a version of you, retreat, be quiet, stop the input.
Well,
stop the input.
Totally. Well, I also practice, and not perfectly. If things energetically are fast, my head is going fast, my emotions, those waves of like feeling a lot that get into that, like the hairpin. I'm going to do that. I need to do the opposite, just like in line for Christmas stuff. I need to slow down. I need to slow all the way down.
That's like a good tool of the rest of the month.
Yeah, slowing down, because when I can start to slow down, because our intuition bubbles up from your body. It doesn't come top down from your head. And the place where we can listen is in being present. And that also means that we need to have our nervous systems more regulated. Mm-hmm. So when I can feel that just life is lifing and it's hard and I'm having reactions and I'm feeling dysregulated, it's not a failure. It's not, I'm not being conscious enough. It's an invitation that my 3D self needs to slow things down so that my spirit can speak. My spirit can reassure these different, my head and my emotions of where I can have the light to see the path instead of getting caught in the swirl.
Yeah, bouncing around in the dark.
Yeah.
Well, I think that right now, whatever part of the world you're in, holidays, the promise, the promise versus the reality. And then you compound that with everybody having an idea of the promise, and then comes the reality. There is a lot of triggering potential. I mean, I got my hair cut today, and the guy that was such a sweet guy was washing my hair, and he said, "How are you? What are you doing for the holidays?" and chit chat. And I said, "Are you going to, connect with your family?" And he said, "Oh, yes." And I said, "Well, that's kind of a mixed, oh, yes." And he said, "Well, it is a mixed experience. I
Honest.
love him and I dread it."
Yeah.
And he told me that he was from a big Irish family from Dublin, and there were 28 cousins. And he said, "We're okay for a while, and then it goes off the rails." And I never know when it's going, and I always stay too long. And then when it's off the rails, you can't get out. So I thought, I wouldn't say that's probably, I said to him, I said, "I don't think that's just contained to your family. I think that can be pretty common."
Oh, absolutely.
Everyone comes together with the best of intentions. And if you start with that, and then you read the room and know before it goes off the rails, I might retreat and have some quiet periodically and don't make a big deal about it, but just kind of step in and out. That really does work. Now, in our family, we have that understanding.
I still have to put it to practice. I still have to put it to practice. And even right now, I will say, even for myself, I am so excited and just a touch, I don't want to say nervous. That's the wrong word. A little bit of anticipating, because now the configuration of London has changed. So you used to live across the street. So there was a place that I could go to kind of fill my own cup. So now you are living with Sabrina and Ahmed, Sabrina and Ahmed and the family. And I'm coming to stay.
It's a bigger space than the two separate spaces, but still it's all one space.
But still, it's just, and with kids and with, all of it. And so I'm myself having to be very intentional. I'm trying right now to be like, I have to be intentional about how and where I can get the pause and the quiet. Because even like for me, I don't have kids. I just, and I love my nieces more than anything, but it's more stimulation than I'm used to. Yeah.
It's about vibration.
Different people, all just different people. It's just me and Lane. It's just a different configuration. So, and I know that like I said earlier, my pet, Pete, my human self cares a lot. And so what I can do sometimes, especially holidays, when I'm with my family, I can try too hard. And it's not anyone else. No one's asking this of me. No one's putting me in the position. Everybody supports me taking care of myself. But there's the part that wants to live up to being a good family member, being a good aunt, being a good sister, being the good blah, blah, blah. And then we
all have the expectation of being high, super conscious, spiritual people at the same time.
We've also had Christmas meltdowns, I'm sure. I'm going to tell you right now, is just to our listeners. I'm like, we have our normal people.
We have, and then the thing that we do have, we can have monumental, epic meltdowns, but they don't last. At least there's the grace of it. That happened. Let's just move on.
Yeah.
Clear it.
Yeah. Yeah. But we also have funny conversations because we talk about all the different levels. We talk about ourselves. We talk about our spirit. We talk about, it's just I find
there's 40 people in the room, only 3 bodies.
I know. I mean, I was just really, exactly. I was laughing thinking just the other day about how, like, what it must be to be like a fly on the wall when we're hanging out, of just, like even Lane being while you were visiting, and we're just just how it's such a way of our life. Like, this is how we're talking, is like how we talk. We disagree. And it's like, well, this is my pet, and this is my trigger, and what my spirit says, and here are the different things. And then in our reunion moment, oftentimes what we're doing is talking about what we have learned from the experience,
and then
what
we
our
have
spirit
to talk
is
about what we are learning.
Yeah. And then we
really
change the channel. It is. I'm like, oh, wow.
And then we watch RuPaul's Drag Race and just
change the channel,
murders
and move
in
on.
the building, and then we're back in the flow.
I know. Actually, the big thing that I thought about, even about being at Sabrina's, is my niece, Sufi. Early morning person. I am not an early morning babe.
Very early. No, I'm going to have to negotiate with her that you are not. Although
Although I think it sounds like the sweetest way to wake up, but also I'm just like,
this morning she tiptoed in, and she's whispering, Nana, I got my dress on, but I didn't have my tights on. You have to help me. And what can you do?
I'm sure she's heart open.
Love. It is. I just, my heart opens so deeply. And then she just doesn't think twice about just, Nana, you okay? You awake? I need you to do this. And I think what a gift to have someone so open-hearted and sweet, just barrel right in to have and expect to be met with that same love.
Yeah.
It's a gift.
Yeah.
Because that's where I have to step in.
Well,
I can't step in in any other way. I can only step in with full love.
I love that. It reminds me of, if in studying the tarot as esoterically, it's our spiritual development journey. And one of the last cards is the sun. And the sun card is that now we've learned all through these different experiences and done all these things of returning back to our childlike nature. And when I hear that, I'm like the open-hearted expectation, the wonder, the
100%.
That we're like, oh, kids, but it's like those are the refining practices of having to have the discipline of showing up to this work of consciousness that allows you the framework to get out of your stories, to get out of your projections, to get out of your exactly, to really meet the world with an open heart. Your inner adult is the one who holds the boundaries, but that it's your inner child that's the one that sees the world with your spirit, with your discernment, with all of it, that leaves you fortified, as opposed to if your inner child is just the one driving, vulnerable.
It's such a gift to be actually in the energy of the child rather than to try to conjure it up in my head.
Yeah.
Is my inner child in my head is an unhappy child. And the inner child that I'm actually around is really quite fun.
Well, I feel that's just a mirror. Your inner child is going through it. Is going through it. That's when you start why she's grumpy. And then she's with an actual child that brings out your actual inner child. And then
I start having a tremendous amount of fun.
You play.
Silliness.
I mean, honestly, I do. One of my favorite things ever of One Coming to Sabrina's is watching you play with Sufi. It's just, it's a window into a different aspect and facet of yourself through just people that I love so much. Definitely brings.
I am absolutely surprised at how quickly I am right there with her, and we are the same age, having the same party.
Completely. And just even last Christmas, and the three of us went to go have lunch. Sabrina was super pregnant, and so we took Sufi, and we were in the car. And we went and took in a cab, and it's the three of us, and we're gonna play I Spy with My Little Eye, and we're playing with a 3-year-old. It was like I spy with my little eye something green, and she's like the tree. And I'm like, yeah, it's very simple. Anyway, we're all having a turn. So mom goes, Sufi goes, then it's mom's turn, and now it's my turn. But Sufi has decided, no, it's my turn. I'm going again. And there was such a part of me, again, older sister triggered, where I wanted to be like, no, it is everyone's turn. All these things. Again, my trigger, my control. It's not going to work. And I'm starting to be like, Sufi, like we all need to take turns. And you were so graceful and just said, well, Sufi, it's, we're all playing the game. And I'm not exactly sure of the word. It's like, we're all playing the game. And, Cece also wants to have a turn. Do you think it's fun if you don't get to have a turn? And she thought about it and she was like, no. She said, okay, well, how about this? You can have a turn and then Cece can have a turn, but it's important for her to have a turn. And she went from me being like, wanting to be like, you have to give me a turn, that then switched the energy of like, no, I'm not going to play, to she was like, great idea. Yeah. And was totally on board. And it was this alchemy magic of you getting just not only on the level, but of giving me a window into like my own stuff, as we've been talking about, a mirror, but of how to navigate in a way to dance with the energy instead of have to be opposed to it. And I just see your own inner child, your own way to connect that just for me transformed a moment into an aha.
Well, it definitely was not playing. I was just being me, but it turned out that we had a really good time.
Oh, the best time. And also that she could hear you. Even energetically, she could hear what the heart of what was important that you were saying instead of, and we had the best time. We had the best time. We had the best time.
We spent the whole day. Sabrina actually called looking for us because we thought we went from there. Then we went walking, and she needed to smell every flower and every pot. In London, there's a lot of flower pots on the street, even in the winter.
She delighted to jump in puddles. She had her little boots on.
And it had just been pouring rain, but we had to go puddle to puddle. It was really fun.
So sweet. So fun.
So
sweet.
We'll have more of that kind of fun. So we're going to say for this period, as we're wandering all over the map and back today, that's how the intuitive life works. It works that way. You're surfing energy. It's up and it's down. It gets into spirals, and you just basically need to be aware instead of. It's basically observe, don't absorb.
Yeah,
it's like
exactly.
Observe. It's like don't get. If you get caught in the wave, know you're caught in the wave, and have tools to find your way out, which is the time out and come back to self. And the big one, I'd say, this Christmas holiday, really through the holidays. It's not personal.
Right.
But what is personal is how do I take care of me?
Yeah. How do
I get other people to do what I want, but how do I take care of me? And you're not going to get anybody to do anything, but they're only going to just be who they are.
Yeah. And just even in that, for our listeners who don't know about observe, don't absorb, how would you explain that, and maybe one simple tool that they can practice?
Well, that's in my book, The Psychic Pathway. It's one of the first tools my teacher Charlie taught me, because I kept telling him that people electrocuted me. And instead of going really serious, he laughed. And he said, that's because you throw yourself into the lightning bolt instead of stepping aside. He said, the energy is in the room, but you don't have to let it run through you. It's not yours. And I said, what do I do? And he said, mind your own business. And at first I was just like appalled. I thought that was just a real, put down. And I said, that's not nice. He goes, no, it's the nicest thing I could possibly say to you. And the nicest thing you could possibly do for you is what you're feeling. If it's from someone else, it's not yours. So don't make it your business to feel. He said, it's your lesson. And he used to laugh a lot, not at me, but just he was entertained by life all the way around. Mind your own business, Sonia. Do you think you can learn to mind your own business? Because we're not going to get very far if you can't mind your own business, because you're really good at minding everyone else's. And that was like in the first few lessons. And he'd say things like, don't come back if you're minding everyone else's business, because I'm only here to teach you. And it was just good stuff when I was, so young.
Yeah.
Think it through. I was very young. When I started with it, I was 12. So mind your own business. Okay. That was a big knot to unravel, but it stayed with me my whole life. So if I'm being electrocuted, my immediate understanding is I'm minding someone else's business and letting it run through my body.
I know. And isn't it? Sometimes it's fun. And sometimes also minding other people's business means that you're not minding your business.
Well, that's exactly his point. So the tool is go back to your breath and go for a walk, or exit the situation energetically so you can get back to being in your own energy. So
love.
I have taken that to an epic level. I mean, I am the first to leave a party. I am the first to, step away. And I actually am grateful that I learned that, because I do it without guilt.
Yeah.
So this holiday, enjoy everybody. Take nothing personally and mind your own business. Don't try to get others to mind it for you.
Yeah, exactly. You're not going to control. You're not going to control.
And go out the door when you need to, even if it's me hobbling on one knee. Hobble out the door. You see me hobbling out the door, you'll know.
Well, that's when I know I'm like, the mom's will. I'm like, Fifi is driving because that will is strong. She's hobbling out the door. I'm going to be like, Mom, need the time out. We got to give you a massage.
Yes. And that's like, we're throwing all kinds of survival kit now. Now it's become survival kit.
Oh my gosh, that's funny.
Learning curve and invitation.
Yeah.
So what do you have coming up this week? Anything
exciting
or something that you want to share that anybody would want to not miss?
Well, I am going to be doing a clearing roadblocks to manifestation workshop in January. I have to still set the date, so I will share it here next week. But aside from that, I feel like I'm just enjoying the holidays. Nothing too exciting. How about you, Mom?
Well, I think I've mentioned it before, and I am really excited about this because I am being guided to do something that I've never done before, and that is a certification training for people who want to be intuitive guides. But I want to say something about that, not to do predictions and to, kind of coach people and use your intuition for them. I'm being guided to train people to help others start trusting their own intuition. Because the number one complaint I hear from people is, I want to trust my intuition, but I'm afraid to, I don't know how. I could use some help.
Yeah.
And so it's those types of teachers who feel like they want to say, okay, I don't need to perform for you or impress you. I need to help you trust yourself. That's the kind of training I'm setting up. And that'll be, I'm doing a 3-day masterclass in January for people to come and join. And it's free, and you can come join that masterclass. We'll have some notes around that. It's
the
January
20th, 21st, and
I think it's the 21st, 2nd, 3rd, or 21, 2, 3.
It's 21, 22. Because I was asking for the dates because I'm going to be in those classes. I'm excited.
Yes, and that's the masterclass. And from there, if you want to train further, you can train with me. But I'll be offering that masterclass. So if you want to be on the wait list for that masterclass, and it is absolutely free, check the notes, because you'll sharpen your own intuition, and that alone will really help you come back to your core frequency, who you really are, and be able to hold it no matter what's swirling around you.
Yeah.
I'm really excited about that.
Well, I feel like what we've talked about is just a rigorous training program of the caliber
that I was put under.
Yeah. Because it's, there are so many wonderful, masterful, but truly it's 2 feet in. It's not just a thing. It's
2 feet in.
It's a life. It's a way to live in every single facet aspect of your life. It's a different way of existing. Yeah.
It is a different way, but actually it's an aligned way.
Yes.
And it doesn't mean we don't meet with crazy. We meet with crazy because planet Earth is crazy in life. But we know how to stay aligned or keep moving back to aligned. And that is the goal of living an intuitive life. And if you'd like to be part of the free masterclass, you'll get some skills for sure.
Absolutely.
And if you want to take it further, I'll share some opportunities with you where you can do that.
I cannot wait.
I cannot wait for you to be here. Next time I see you, you're going to be here.
I know. And so, as always, we're going to go to our question of the week. And if you have a question for us, you can write us at itsallrelatedpodcastquestions@gmail.com. You can DM Sonia Choquette on Instagram or Sonia Tully Official on Instagram. We absolutely love to hear from you. Or if you're listening on YouTube, leave your question in the comments. This week, we have a question from our beautiful listener, Fiona. Fiona writes, "Love your podcast, especially when all of you start laughing. That is really actually my favorite joy. My question is, how do you follow your path when it is intertwined with your husband's? I've been married for 38 years, and where he goes and everything is joint decisions, sometimes compromising for the other. But if you were asking your guides, what is your path and purpose? How is it not influenced by your partner's path and journey?"
It's interesting. I have a couple who've been married a very long time, and they were having this very conversation. And I think that needs to go back to that while we are partnered, we are still on our own unique soul journeys.
Yeah.
And we need to create space for that. And in the case of one of the couple I was coaching, she had one plan for their retirement and he had another plan. And she had one plan for who would oversee it versus him who had another. And she said, I feel so strongly. I do not want the person that he says we should go with. It's not a match for me. And he keeps arguing that it is. I don't know what to do.
Mm.
And I said, why do you think he keeps arguing that it is? Because I don't believe it's because he's convinced that person is necessarily right or wrong or good or bad, but get to the bottom of why the argument. And she said, I think it's because he's not interested in managing and he thinks that guy's a good proxy for him. Not a good coach or guide for us or at all for me. And I said, well, just point that out to him. And then just tell him, I can't do it. I'm sorry, but my spirit cannot be aligned. If you can't see that it's this or this, we'll have to come up with a third answer.
We love that. As it was, we've learned, there's always a solution. There's
always a solution. If it's not your way or my way, then we have to look for the third way.
Yeah. Instead of us each taking our own highway away from each other, you know?
Yeah. So if, as a person whom you've very successfully lived with for this long, first, congratulations. That's very challenging to do, and you're doing it. But you don't have to merge into one big taffy ball. You can say we still have our own unique paths and perspectives. We can respect one another. And if they're so different that we're polarized, take a pause, and then we have to come up with a third way that allows us to move forward without fighting or trying to make the other wrong, and just give that space. I said, just say, we're not going to decide for 3 days because you might feel strongly today and tomorrow you don't care.
Yeah. Exactly. You know what I'm hearing also with this, Fiona, I feel like the big thing that you can, even if you have your soulmate, you have your like you have your buddy, you have all of it. But as you're saying, you're two different individuals. Now, all relationships require compromise, you know, and sometimes you have to give. Sometimes it's your turn. The best thing that you can do is first know yourself, know your spirit, know what honors you, what takes care of you, what expresses you, and also invite your partner to do the same. When we get so intertwined, our energy fields can merge into, it's like, wait, what's mine? What's yours? It just,
right. Then it's just very enmeshed.
Right. And so it's like having to come back, and to be a good partner is also to support your other partner's independence and their own life that can still be connected. It's one of the things that I really appreciate about Lane is that he really just lets me be me out in the world. He's not trying to control or manage me. And I do the same. So if your path and your purpose is intertwined, then I say, okay, well, what are the other things as a wider base that are yours? Is it a hobby? Is it a practice? Is it a friend group? Is it what are some choices that support you as an individual, that doesn't pull you away? It actually gives you a wider base of support and gives you juice to bring back. One thing that even just you and Dad modeled, like you guys would support each other in going to go do things and having different experiences. And that was almost like more juice that we could also discuss and learn, and in continuing to support each other's individual growth while it not being about being separate. So I feel like this is just a call for me, Fiona, of what I'm saying is that it sounds like you need some more you time. You need some things that are for you, and not
feel like you're abandoning your commitments to your partner, but you need to fill up your own well.
Yeah. And sometimes you might not agree, but I feel like the biggest thing that I can ask for is just understanding, to have the grace of understanding and really listening to another person's perspective, experience, and to be understood. That doesn't mean that we agree, but
Right.
to have that also creates compassion and connection and helps deepen intimacy and support. So
Right.
that's what I would. So I'm like, go
And
do
take
you.
your mind off the argue. Take your mind off the disconnect, and go do something fun that you both enjoy for just a little while.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then come back.
Yeah. Well, I can't wait to see you, Mom. I cannot
Can't
wait.
wait to see you too. We will definitely have the same intense holiday we always have, and it will be wonderful.
Yeah, and happy holidays to everybody who's celebrating. Happy
Absolutely.
Hanukkah, happy Merry Christmas,
Happy Universal Day,
happy
Universe Day.
solstice, happy end of the year, whatever
We
it is.
celebrate all of those things.
Yeah,
so celebrate everything.
And celebrate you. We're so happy to have you as a part of our soul family. And last, if you like our podcast, don't forget to rate, subscribe, leave us a review. It helps us more than you know. And I will see you next week. Love you, Mom.
All of us love you too. Bye, son.
Bye.